There is a woman your history books forgot. Listen, 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 listen. Before I tell you what Moremi did, you need to understand what she was fighting to protect. Ile-Ife, the city the Yoruba people call the source of all things, the place where the world began. These were not soldiers. These were farmers, weavers, mothers putting children to sleep. For 3 seasons, the Ugbo had come, not as an army, not with drums and war cries, and things you can prepare for, as a shadow. They appeared at harvest, when the granaries were full, and the people were tired from the work of a good season. They disappeared before dawn, before anyone could say with certainty what they had seen. And every time they left, they took something Ile-Ife could not replace. Not just grain, not just livestock. They took the feeling of safety, the thing that lets a people sleep at night without one eye open. The Ooni soldiers could not stop them. They had tried. 3 seasons of trying. 3 seasons of failing. No one could explain how the Ugbo moved unseen. No one could explain what made grown soldiers drop their weapons and run. No one, except those who had watched them closely enough. And only one person had thought to do that. The meeting had been going since before dawn. Nobody had slept. Look at him. A king who cannot protect his people is a man carrying a weight that was not designed for human shoulders. The kola nut offering sat untouched at the center of the room. Nobody had reached for it. There was nothing to celebrate, nothing to seal.
3 villages, 1 night. Let the palace hear. Our granaries are half of what they were. We cannot endure another season of this.
Ooni, perhaps tribute, perhaps if we offer.
We do not pay tribute to thieves.
The elder had meant well. Tribute is a practical solution for a practical problem, but the Ooni was right. You do not pay tribute to thieves. You only teach them that theft is profitable. And so the room went quiet, the way rooms go quiet when the obvious answer has been refused and nobody has another one. Moremi had been standing there the entire time, watching the Ooni's face, watching the chiefs run out of ideas, watching the silence fill the room like water filling a vessel. She had made her decision before she walked into this room. She had been waiting for exactly this moment, the moment when the silence became louder than anyone's objection could possibly be.
There is another way.
Speaks out of turn.
Send me.
2 words that changed the temperature of the entire room. Notice what nobody did. Nobody laughed. Nobody dismissed her. Even the elder who told her she was speaking out of turn, even he stopped when he saw the Ooni's face. Because the Ooni was not angry. He was listening. And a king who listens to something that frightens him, that is a king who already knows he has no better option.
Send you where?
Into their hands. I will go where your soldiers cannot. I will learn what your spies have.
He did not say yes that morning. He wanted to. Refuse her. Send her back to her chambers. Pretend she had never said it. But wanting to refuse and being able to refuse are 2 different things when your granaries are half empty and your soldiers keep losing. He did not say no, and Moremi had already decided. There are conversations that cannot happen inside palace walls. Too many ears. Too much that a king cannot be seen to feel. Out here, under the Iroka tree that had stood longer than the palace, he was not the Ooni. He was just a man who did not want to lose his wife.
You do not have to do this. There are other ways.
Name them. Name one way that does not cost more life.
What about Ugbo? What do I tell our son when he asks where his mother is gone?
Ugbo, that was the name that cost her something. Not the danger, not the enemy camp, not the possibility of not coming back. Her son's name, that was the thing that almost moved her face.
You tell him his mother went to protect him. And you make sure that is true.
He watched her turn away. He almost reached for her, decided against it. Some decisions, once a person has made them, cannot be unmade by touch. She had not told him about the river, about the promise, about the price she had already agreed to pay without knowing what it was. Some things a husband cannot carry. She would carry it alone. She came here alone. No servants, no witnesses. What happens between a woman and the river goddess is not for other people to see. She brought what the goddess asks for: white cloth, palm wine, fresh kola nut. Esenmirin, goddess of the river Isimirin. She had been here since before Ile-Ife had its name. Moremi did not perform her prayer. She did not chant. She did not prostrate herself in the formal way. She spoke to the river the way you speak to someone you have known a long time, directly, as between equals.
Esenmirin, you have seen what is happening to my people. You know what I am about to do. If you guide me through this, if you bring me home with what I need, I will give you whatever you ask.
The river did not speak back, not in words, A ripple, where there was no wind. That was enough. Between Moremi and Esinmirin, that was a yes. The river accepted. Moremi did not ask what the price would be. She had already decided she would pay it, whatever it was. That is the thing people forget when they tell this story. She did not make a blind promise. She was not naive. She knew the river goddess does not accept small things. She knew the price would be something that mattered. She paid the price of not knowing, in advance, willingly. That is not naivety. That is a particular kind of courage that does not have a common name. She did not call her servants. Every piece of royalty placed aside with the care of someone who intends to come back for it, not abandoning it, protecting it, keeping it safe in the only place she could be certain it would remain. The jewel, the wrapper, the arm bracelets, one by one, plain cloth, undyed, the clothing of a woman who belongs to no palace, who could be anyone, who no one would look at twice on a road at dusk. She looked back once at the life she was temporarily setting down. Then she turned and walked out of the palace the way a woman walks when she has made a decision that cannot be unmade. She had everything to lose. She chose to risk it anyway. The road the Ugbo always took. Everyone in Ile-Ife knew this road. Nobody walked it alone after dark. Nobody, until now. She chose her pace deliberately. Slow enough to be seen, unhurried enough to signal she was not afraid. Not running from something, not running toward something, just present, available. She heard them before she saw them. She did not stop walking. She did not look toward the bush. Every part of her body was saying the same thing. I am not a threat. I am not a prize. I am just a woman on a road.
Woman, stop. Where do you walk alone at this hour?
Wherever the road takes me, I have nothing left to protect.
Notice what she did not say. She did not beg. She did not explain. She did not cry. She gave them the one answer that would make them more curious than suspicious. I have nothing left to protect. 5 words. That told them everything they wanted to hear and nothing they needed to know.
She is not afraid.
Come.
She did not look back, not because she did not want to, because she had decided that looking back was a thing she was not allowed to do until this was finished. Looking back is for people who are not sure. Moremi was sure. She is inside the enemy's hands now, and she did it on purpose. She walked into the enemy's hands, and she did it on purpose. She is inside the enemy's camp now, and she has not told anyone what she promised the river to make this possible. Part 2 drops in a few days. If you are not subscribed, you will miss what happens when the Ugbo king looks at Moremi and says, "A woman who is not afraid is either a fool or dangerous." Which do you think he decided she was? Tell me below.